And Robert set for live action between 4th place Arsenal and 15th place Crystal Palace away at the Selhurst Park for Arteta and his men as they look to close the gap on first place Liverpool. Nottingham Forest are now third in the league, courtesy of their very late drama, very good performance against Brentford. And now it's up to Arsenal to make up the ground here. Very interesting to see their team lineup here. Gabriel Jesus being rewarded with the start, courtesy of that hat-trick against this very opponent midweek in the Carabao Cup quarter-finals. He's playing centre forward with Bukayo Saka on the right and Gabriel Martinelli on the left. And Kai Havertz is now playing in that left-hand side midfield. Very interesting to see Kai Havertz being moved from his centre forward position rather, to that left-hand side midfield with Thomas Partey as the number 6 and the skipper Martin Odegaard in that number 8 position. Back four looks pretty settled for Arsenal. Lewis Kelly has impressed. He looked so good against Monaco. Very assured going forward and defensively. Played a bit within himself. Maybe he looks to express himself with Gabriel, Saliba, Timber and Raya making up the back five. As for Crystal Palace, no Eze, no Wharton, but it's a strong, solid lineup. And we're all set here at the Selhurst Park. It is Arsenal kicking things off and Raya straight away goes long. Here's Lewis Kelly with an early touch to Kai Havertz. Immediately a misplaced pass there by Havertz. He was initially brought to Arsenal to play in that left-hand side midfield role to replace Granit Xhaka, who had moved to Bayer Leverkusen, and subsequently winning the league that season. Incredible season by Bayer Leverkusen, going unbeaten in the Bundesliga. Hasn't been the same this season, but that really was a once-in-a-lifetime season from Xabi Alonso and his men. As for Crystal Palace, Oliver Glasner had a very good end to the season last season, but it was such a tough start for them. Remember their 1-1 draw against Chelsea. They looked decent. Chelsea dominated that game. How Crystal Palace came away with that one. Got a point. Since then, it's been topsy-turvy. Picked up a lot of losses, which find themselves in 15th. Last 5 games, 2 wins and 3 draws. So we are seeing a slight uptick here for Oliver Glasner and Crystal Palace. And as for Arsenal, 2 draws on the trot in the Premier League against Fulham, and then that disappointing 0-0 draw against Everton. They look to get back to winning ways, finding it comfortable in the Cups though, beating Monaco 3-0. Then these two had met in the Carabao Cup quarter-finals. That was a really fast start there for Crystal Palace. Taking the lead in the 3rd minute, was it? Was Jean-Philippe Mateta. And Arsenal then just blitzed Palace in that second half, courtesy of that Gabriel Jesus hat-trick. Some really cool and collected finishes. Hasn't been Jesus' trademark this season. He has struggled for goals in the league as well. He's yet to open his account. I might have Havertz playing very closer to him. Would end up like a 2-man attack, but so far Arsenal just prodding and probing. Crystal Palace happy to keep their shape here. They're a bit more defensive in their lineup. Glasner likes his 3-4-3. Chalobah has made way for Chris Richards. Lacroix and Mark Gahey keeping their spot. In that midfield is Jefferson Lerma, Colombian, who's been drafted in there. Going forward, they have Mateta. On the right, they've got Ismail Sarr, who's rapid. I mean, once he gets going, really is a difficult customer to stop. Hughes in midfield really has impressed. Every time I see him, Hughes that looked like to be a steady Eddie, but he is turning out to be a crucial piece in Glasner's system. So far, Arsenal have been forced to go long, and I don't think Palace would mind that one bit, as we see Bukayo Saka on our screens there. He has been terrific this season. He needs help. He really does. has been a struggle. The likes of Havertz, Martinelli, Trossard even, to get those goals just to help out Arsenal, because I think that's 3 games on the trot in the league where they have not scored from open play. Fair play to them, though. They do find other avenues, set pieces and corners especially, so powerful. Saka nods it down to Odegaard. Here's Timber. He's shown his versatility throughout the season, playing on either side. He is comfortable. On that right-hand side, he does look the most dangerous, especially when he goes forward. Tyreek Mitchell with the throw-in. For Palace, the shape just allows them off the ball to just congest those central areas, especially if the 3 centre-halves are to play a bit more narrow. Will allow them to just force Arsenal wide, use their width, put balls into the box. Here's Havertz, who's running into the channel but forced back. Kelly with a nice little touch there, Lewis Kelly. Brilliant stuff there, and he will have won the foul. Lewis Kelly with great feet and just change of direction there. Really does look like a promising youngster. Arsenal have produced, or rather have shown, a couple of youngsters coming through the ranks this season. Ethan Wanyeri being one of them. Hasn't getting consistent minutes though. I think he would have felt a bit disappointed when Odegaard wasn't playing. He didn't get those regular minutes. Arteta deciding to shuffle things around instead, playing Moreno, Rice and Partey, that kind of midfield. Here's Odegaard. His absence was sorely missed there when Arsenal were just going on those runs where they're just picking up draws. As soon as he came, there's a breath of fresh air. Saka with the ball into the box. It's a dangerous ball. It's not cleared. Jesus to make it 1-0. And his goal scoring form continues at the far stick with the anticipation. And then a full-blown finish past Henderson to give Arsenal the early lead here. Just what they wanted here. And it's Gabriel Jesus following his hat-trick in the midweek fixture. Now strikes early his first goal of the Premier League this season. It's been a long time coming. And once again, the wide areas proving to be a source of great joy here. Once again, no surprises. It's Bukayo Saka. Goes around the outside, puts it on his right foot. Takes a couple of deflections, falls kindly to Jesus. But he doesn't lash at it, just uses his side foot and beats Henderson from close range there. Good finish by the Brazilian. And Arsenal are on their way. Tyreek Mitchell had given the full-length dive there. Was it Mark Gahey there? You can see what it means to Arteta and the coaching staff there. That breaks their 3-game spell of not having scored in open play. And it's the man with the number 9 on his back, Gabriel Jesus. What a lift this is for Arsenal. They can get Gabriel Jesus in some sort of goal-scoring form going forward. Really could help their cause and just ease some of their burden. He, under a bit of pressure there, takes no chances, decides to just clear that away. Crystal Palace are rocked here. They'll have to be careful to try and weather this Arsenal storm. Arsenal, especially when they score early, really are tough to break down and gives them a bit more space to operate. Arsenal have completely dominated the ball in the proceedings so far. It was Crystal Palace who had scored early in this fixture midweek. Now it's Arsenal who retained the favour. Martinelli trying to cross the ball in. It's well cleared by Nathaniel Klein, who's stepping in for Munoz, who's gotten a suspension here. Big blow there for Oliver Glasner not having his first choice right wing back. Klein is a steady player to say the least. He is former of Southampton, Liverpool, and now finding his home in Crystal Palace. He's been there maybe 4 or 5 years now, if I'm not mistaken. Always shown great promise here. Here's Odegaard. Gabriel. He'll have his hands full today against John Philippe Mateta. Kamara doing really well, and here's Mateta running at Saliba. Then Partey has just nibbled from behind, and that is a foul, and he'll be lucky to avoid a yellow card here. Maybe because it's early in the game. Odegaard losing out, and it's Daichi Kamada snaps in there with the challenge, and Partey looking to pinch the ball off Mateta. Crystal Palace immediately looking to respond here. The free kick. Eze is not there on the pitch today, so maybe they'll try and find something creative here. Will Hughes is an option. Can look to just float this towards the far stick. Kamada's there as an option. It's Will Hughes with the ball into the far sticks, and it's Lacroix with the header. He couldn't direct that on target. Maxence Lacroix is trying to steal a march there. Is very much on side. Couldn't really time or direct his header. Arsenal was so dangerous in set pieces, almost getting hit with their own weapon there. Here's Raya, who's been excellent keeper throughout the season. Yes, a few of those shots have been leaking in from real improbable angles and ranges. The header against Nketiah. Oh, he's taking a big chance here. And David Raya almost costing Arsenal to concede soon after. It's Will Hughes who just charges at the back of Thomas Partey. That is a suicide ball there from Raya to Partey. He had no business to find the Ghanaian, and Will Hughes just snapping into the challenge and almost deflecting that on target. Gabriel was there as cover, but I think that was far too casual there from David Raya as Arsenal continue to play out the back here. Oh, what a carry. This is from Timber, just motoring forward effortlessly. So good to see Julian Timber back after that ACL injury. He looks good again. He looks mobile. He's picked up a couple of niggly injuries, but has managed to stay fit relatively. Here's Sarr up against Saliba. Ismaila Sarr! 1-1 to Crystal Palace. Ismaila Sarr finds a beauty into the bottom corner, and Crystal Palace hit back straight away. The warning was there early on, but this time they needed no help from Arsenal. And Ismaila Sarr with a piercing hit into the bottom corner, and it's 1-1. What a game this has been already. Jefferson Lerma had picked up the ball, just found the ball on the left-hand side, and this is a very clever pass by Mitchell to Sarr, who just drove towards the box, just used Saliba as the shield, and just curls it past David Raya. Lovely finish this from Sarr. Oh yes, it's perfect. What a response from Oliver Glasner's men, courtesy of Ismaila Sarr. And we have a game on, folks. Look at the reaction there from Oliver Glasner. He points to Ismaila Sarr. It was a very shrewd acquisition in the summer, and they pinched him from Watford, and he has made an impact. And Arsenal's inability to keep clean sheets once again coming back to roost here. That is the spring in the step that Crystal Palace were looking for. And it's just small moments, just like the Raya chance. You just give a bit of initiative to the opposition. It just creates a bit of momentum. And he just seized on it. It was a brilliant finish, though. Make no mistake about it. Now we have a game on, folks. I felt that Arsenal, with that early lead, would have kept the ball, made things difficult, made things even boring maybe for the home crowd. Instead, courtesy of Sarr, we have the perfect response. Havertz looks to drive through midfield. Here's Martinelli up against Richards. He's got Lerma, who's come across. Martinelli just running out of room and just getting barged off the ball. He does win the corner, though. I think Palace would be a bit disappointed that they did concede the corner, though, but it was direct play here from Gabriel Martinelli. He's getting a Caught between the sandwich between Richards and Lerma. Both were very surprised of the concession of the corner. Crystal Palace now having to defend against one of Arsenal's main weapons here. They've got size, they've got height. Saliba, Gabriel, Kai Havertz, Timber as well. Even Jesus has a leap on him. No Declan Rice though to put the ball in. It's Martinelli with the ball into the box. It's floated in with a lot of air. It's looked to attack there. It's fallen into the box. Jesus! Wow, what a finish that is! A snapshot from Gabriel Jesus. The ball just fell to him, had no time to react, and he hits it first time. Dean Henderson did not move a muscle, and it's Arsenal who have the lead. What a game this has been. Expected a cagey and tight affair. Instead, we have 3 goals in the opening 15 minutes, and Gabriel Jesus has 5 goals in the span of 3 games. The corner was hung in with a lot of airtime. Partey just lays it off to Jesus, and that is a finish of high quality there. Just a side foot, just places it past the despairing Henderson. That is another striker-like finish, and are we seeing the resurgence of Gabriel Jesus in front of our very own eyes? 15 minutes on the clock. It's Arsenal 2, Crystal Palace 1. And Palace have to respond once again. That concession off a corner proving out to be far too costly. Yet another set-piece goal for the Gunners. Can they preserve their lead for a bit longer this time though? Might have been a bit of a shove there. Jesus pinches the ball back. He looks like a man reborn here. Oh, it's a very strange back pass, and Mateta almost getting there. Lerma just having a bit of a moan here with the referee. He has to be careful, not picking up a yellow card for dissent. Last thing you want as a battling midfielder is to pick up a needless yellow card, but you can see Jesus was caught between Lerma and Kamada. Arsenal will look to try and settle things down here. Great goals so far. All 3 finishes really have been top quality. Jesus' first one, not easy. The ball is falling to you in the box. Ismaila Sarr's finish was quality, really was, to beat keeper like Raya. And then Jesus' first time finish. And Arsenal on the break here. Here's Odegaard. He's got Havertz and Martinelli for support. Here's Saka, goes around the outside, decides to chop in on his left. And Mitchell does very diligent defending there. Wins that duel well. And Mateta does excellently well to not just hold the ball off, but try and wriggle away from Saliba as he concedes the foul. William Saliba having to battle against his French teammate Jean-Philippe Mateta. Great game, really good intensity. Palace under the lights, away from home. Not easy for any team visiting. Long ball for Mateta. Again, such a nuisance in the box. He's using his physique and strength. Nice layoff for Kamada from distance. Ambitious on his left foot. Just looking to pull the trigger and try and catch Raya out. Can't fault the attempt though. Mateta will be feeling the heat already. His decision to continue with Jesus, although not rocket science, is it? When your striker scored a hat-trick midweek, just draft him back in with his confidence high. Let's put him back in, let him try and continue his goal-scoring run, and he's done just that. 5 goals in a space of 3 days. To put in context, struggling throughout the season to find any sort of rhythm in front of goal. You just have a week like this. That's how funny, and that's why you love the sport, man. You just never know what's going to happen on the day. Never know when it's going to be your evening. Just got to stick in there and apply yourself. Good things can happen. Here's Mateta. Once again, brilliant hold-up play there. And Saliba coming in forcefully. He wins the ball, though. Klein just plays that hopefully into the channel. Here's Sarr. Again, we've seen the hold-up play here from Mateta on a couple of occasions. It's not easy to wriggle away from Gabriel and Saliba. Gabriel a lot more physical in his approach. Likes to get touch tight, while Saliba more of the reader and anticipator of danger. Just mops up. He's got brilliant pace and recovery pace. Saliba, that makes him one of the elite defenders in the Premier League. Here's Timber. Back to Saliba. Has that reverse. Mitchell has intercepted danger on a couple of occasions here. He's having a good game so far. 20 minutes on the clock here. Arsenal getting an early lead courtesy of Gabriel Jesus. Ismaila Sarr hitting back for 3 or 4 minutes after, and Arsenal regaining their lead in the 14th minute courtesy of an excellent first-time finish from Gabriel Jesus. Here's Lacroix. Back to Henderson. See how wide Crystal Palace want their pitch to be when they're in possession of the ball. They do have two-man running almost vertically there. Oh, Sarr has pinched the ball here. Big mistake. Mateta, what a save that is from Raya. And Saliba can clear. My, oh my, what a chance this is. And Arsenal on the break here. Odegaard finds Saka. Arsenal flooding the box. Saka with the ball in. Oh, Odegaard with a miscontrol. Almost looking to backheel that extravagantly. Oh, this is end-to-end stuff here. Saliba will be breathing a huge sigh of relief there. Ismaila Sarr pinching in, winning the ball, laying it off to Mateta, who has to score there. And this could have very easily been 2-2. Incredible stuff this. Oh, Havertz has pinched the ball here, winning that second ball. Looking for options, decides to just lay it off to Partey. Here's Odegaard. Jesus has peeled away onto the right flank, and here's a sight that Arsenal fans will not want to see. It's Bukayo Saka who's on the turf here, and it doesn't look like a contact injury. There's a shake of his head, and that will really concern everybody involved with Arsenal Football Club. Seeing their number 7, the star boy Bukayo Saka, as there is a round of applause here for what looks like a deceased Arsenal fan. Good to see the whole stadium responding to the fallen player. And you can have a look at the chance here. Saliba far too casual, completely losing the ball. The first touch by Mateta is not too bad because Sarr's pass is ahead of him. It was not in his path, but he brings it under his spell. But that pass just forces Mateta to not be able to finish that on his favored right foot, but on his left from close range. You expect a lot better from the caliber of Jean-Philippe Mateta, and it's a massive let-off here from Arsenal. Wow. What a first half this has been so far. We are halfway through. Arsenal dominating possession 72-28, but Crystal Palace have 5 shots to 3. A couple of them courtesy of Arsenal's own doing, as we see Wilfried Zaha, former Crystal Palace winger. He was electric in his days, now at Galatasaray, as Saka is struggling here to back onto his feet, and it does look like he might continue here. Now, whether or not they'll decide to take a chance, Arteta decides absolutely not, and this is the right call here. Leandro Trossard immediately stripped and ready to go here, and it's a massive blow this for Arsenal. Yes, they're leading the game, but it hasn't gone as smooth as they would have expected. Could have very easily been 2-2. It remains 2-1, but it's come at a price here, and Bukayo Saka will be withdrawn here, and with Arsenal and all Premier League's busy Christmas schedule coming up, this could be a massive blow here for Arsenal's aspirations. Try and push for the top. You've seen so many incidents in this match so far. Raya decides to go long. Oh, it's a commanding header there from Gay. Here's Odegaard. He's played a couple of nice balls so far in this first half. It'll be very interesting to see the dynamic here as Leandro Trossard enters the fray here. Let's have a look here. Saka put the ball into the box. There seems to be no real contact whatsoever, and he's feeling his hamstring. Immediately pulls up. Not a contact injury. Definitely looks like he pulled something. Might not be a tear, as he did walk up, or walk back rather, but that is a source of huge concern for Arsenal. They'll have to shake away this disappointment. That's a nice pass there by Timber. It's cleared away. Good 1-2 there. Partey and Timber. Whether or not Jesus might just play on the right-hand side now, and Havertz might go as centre forward. We'll wait and see. The early sighter here looks like Martinelli has gone to the right-hand side. Trossard on the left. Everything else remains the same, and that's the impact of the Saka injury. Andrew Trossard, who's known to be real killer off the bench, scored some clutch goals for Arsenal since joining the club, especially as that second half substitute. Started a few of the games this season, but failed to impress really. Saw some of his performance really found wanting as Mateta looks to run him down once again. Sarr wins the duel against Havertz. Havertz, there's a shot there from Sarr, and he's really clobbered that against the head of Gabriel. They have to stop play because it was hit with some force right on the temple there. Ismail Sarr not hesitating one bit. Look at Havertz there, just pulling out of the challenge. Not good from the German international. And Sarr didn't have any hesitation, just looks to fire that towards goal. Gabriel should be okay. As expected, Gabriel Magalhaes. Okay to continue. Again, from Crystal Palace's point of view, they'll put pressure on Arsenal. Some of their own doing, though. Raya and Saliba guilty in the first half. Shows that they are putting pressure in the right areas. They are playing the long ball forward. It's very interesting to see Mateta and Ismail Sarr both running as almost dual strikers. Here's Klein, who's picked up the ball. Sarr winning that header and almost falling to Hughes there. That tactic has worked on a couple of occasions. Nice to see that, having one player on Gabriel, one on Saliba when the ball is in the air, as opposed to just playing as a single striker. And this is an outstanding run, this from Mark Gahey. Crystal Palace skipper just toe pokes that forward, almost falling kindly to Sarr, and Kai Havertz clears. Palace have Arsenal pinned in their own half here. Difficult to break down the Arsenal block. They're back into their shape. The switch here from Lacroix is immaculate. Here's Klein. Lerma. Sarr to Hughes. Crystal Palace looking a lot more fluent with the ball. Last 5 minutes, nearly 80% of the ball for Crystal Palace. Almost finding Will Hughes. He still gets there. Hughes clips the ball into the center, headed away by Saliba. Lerma recycles. Mitchell will keep the ball in play. Here's Gay on his right foot into the box. Raya comes, and it's assured handling. Good hands by the Spanish keeper. And this is good from Crystal Palace. They have not retreated into their shell or really settled, or allowed Arsenal to settle rather. Instead, they've taking charge of the game in the last 5 minutes, more of the ball. Arsenal having to chase their shadows. They've kept their shape so far. See on the ball, the three centre halves and Lewis Kelly almost inverting into midfield, but he's not really getting into those midfield pockets. He's staying a touch wide. So a bit more caution here. Almost playing in the half space. Best way to describe Lewis Kelly's position. Here's Odegaard, or Trossard rather. Bit of adjustment here for me. Here's Saliba, who got away with a schoolboy error, lapse of concentration and judgment. Would have had his heart in his mouth as Mateta was through on goal. And that pass from Sarr has to be better, doesn't it? Has to be into his path where he can take it first time instead. Mateta had to control it with his first touch. It went away from him, forced him to take it on his left. That was a good save though from Raya. Heading into the 30th minute. Plenty of incidents in this London derby so far. Partey now dropping in between the two centre halves. Partey looking to drive, heavy touch, but he gets there. Here's Lewis Kelly. Oh, it's a loose giveaway there. It's a foul maybe, but he lets play go on. Here's Kamada. Finds Sarr. He's got support in the box. Cross comes in. It's a disappointing ball straight into the hands of David Raya. Quality needs to be better here as 30 minutes on the clock ticks by. Really has flown by, hasn't it? Here's Odegaard. David Raya goes long. It's to Trossard, a very strange decision. Not real much height in the attack. Kai Havertz in midfield, generally the player where Raya decides to go, especially when he does go long. And it's a clear foul there by Gabriel, and he'll be very lucky to avoid a yellow card. Simon Hooper immediately pulls out the yellow from his pocket, and that's sloppy there from Gabriel, who got done there by Ismail Sarr. Just uses him and rolls him out. Clever play there from the Senegalese forward. And Gabriel now has to walk on the tightrope. 30 minutes on the clock. Set piece here. The left foot of Hughes, the right of Kamada. Two options. And Arsenal with plenty of height here. Got everybody back defending. Palace have chucked in their big boys as well. Mateta, one of the key targets. Kamara with the ball into the box. Headed away by Havertz. Hughes recycles. It's a clear push there by Trossard. So needless. He's going away from him. It's another free kick. Another opportunity for Crystal Palace. That really is low IQ play there from Leandro Trossard. Needless shove on the back. Rachi Kamada and Will Hughes plotting this set piece here. A lot more central, this one. Might suit the left footer. Leaves it for Kamada. Swings it into the box. Cleared away by Jesus. Good defensive header there by the centre forward. Takes no chances and just clears the way. Throw in here for Crystal Palace. It's about 12.5 minutes plus stoppage time to be added on. Saka's injury didn't take too long. Really is a souring moment for Arsenal. Lerma with the throw. Looked like a foul throw as his foot did cross the line. They allow it to carry on, and the corner has been conceded. Gabriel hitting the last touch there. Did look like a foul throw, and Gabriel getting the one touch, maybe the last touch might have come off. Yep, clearly coming off Thomas Partey there. No reason for Gabriel to complain as he's alert in the box. One corner each for both teams. Crystal Palace have got size here. Richards, Lacroix, Gehi, Mateta, all with aerial prowess. Seen Arsenal prosper from a corner. Can Crystal Palace equalise in a certain manner? Will Hughes on that left peg to swing this ball into the box. It's headed by Lacroix and it's just over the crossbar. Good ball into the box, but it was always sailing over the crossbar. From close distance, but again not timing his jump there. It just catches him on the shoulder rather than the forehead. That's where you see the ball just bobbling up there. Opportunity though for Crystal Palace. They've given it a right go here, it's got to be said. Could have really easily folded in that first half, having conceded early. Here's Henderson as Crystal Palace quickly get into their shape on the ball. Quickly spreading into that back four rather. Almost see Richards playing as a left back. They have the ball. Played forward. Timber with decent enough control. Just gives it to Kamara to see. Just pushes that to Lewis Kelly. Timber finds Saliba to Partey. Now Raya wants to join in the build-up. Does just that. It just pumps that forward. He's done that on quite a few occasions with little to no success. That's a nice touch there. Trying to play that into the channel for Mateta. Up against Saliba. And Saliba uses his body. Shields that away for a throw-in. 10 minutes left in the first half. Eventful to say the very least. Timber will take the throw-in. For Arsenal, they want to try and create a bit more. They won't be comfortable with just a one-goal lead here. Timber is taking his own sweet time here, and will pick up a needless yellow card there for time wasting. I don't see the need or even tactics for that. Take the sting out of the game, but at the cost of a yellow card, needless from Yuran Timber. Oh, it's a very cheap giveaway there, and Jesus is bearing down on goal up against Lacroix, who does magnificently well. It was his mistake. He puts his hand up in apology, and Gabriel Jesus had the opportunity. Lovely touch away from Richards, but Lacroix using his recovery pace to the full use there. Look at this for pace. Just charges in there, wins the ball cleanly. And there have been mistakes from centre-halves in this match. Lacroix, the latest victim. Corner here for Arsenal. Again, they have that 3-man or 4-man that are away from the post, and then they drift in. Saw that against Manchester United. And now they rush into the box. Oh, Gabriel with the header against the crossbar. And the follow-up. Here's Partey almost managing to clear. And now Crystal Palace do manage to clear. And once again, Arsenal with the set piece is so dangerous. Oh, he's almost left it short there, Trossard, and David Raya had to be alert. Oh, what a loose touch this is. Both teams guilty of surrendering the ball far too cheaply here. Gabriel nearly making it 3-1. Good delivery, and Gabriel pouncing on it. Keeper was beaten. Here's Odegaard. Martinelli on the right-hand side now, not his favoured side. But now he'll have the opportunity to run, and Mitchell, that's brilliant work. They enter the box. Jesus at the follow-up, Havertz to make it 3-1. Surely onside, as there was a player on the post. And Arsenal have a 2-goal lead to take 8 minutes before half-time. Nearly made it 3-1 minutes before, as Jesus was through on goal. But this time Jesus' header was parried straight back towards goal. Once again, Arsenal patient in their build-up. Martinelli on that right-hand side did brilliantly to get past Mitchell. Floats the ball into the box. Jesus with the header. Havertz clearly onside. Hit the post. Straight back to Havertz, who makes no mistake on the rebound. And Arsenal now have the cushion. Jesus inches away from his hat-trick. It would have been back-to-back hat-tricks for Gabriel Jesus, but the post saving that. But Havertz on the follow-up gives Arsenal the 2-goal cushion. Is that the goal that just breaks the spirit of Crystal Palace going into half-time? Kai Havertz has been short of goals in the last 10 games or so. These goals so valuable for the Arsenal cause. Both the strikers getting on the score sheet. Havertz in that left-hand side midfield, almost acting like that second striker. Getting into the box when the ball is being delivered. And that decision by Arteta to push Havertz into midfield, almost like that wide attacking number 10, paying dividends so far. Havertz finds Timber. It's back to Raya, who goes long. Kenny's looking to find Jesus, who's never going to win that header against Gueye. Odegaard and Lerma, both number 8s, battling there, and Odegaard comes away with that. It's a foul there on the Norwegian. See that Gabriel, moments before the goal, again, it's that corner routine. He just gets away from Mitchell. It's a complete mismatch. Henderson nowhere near, gets his forehead to it. It could have been 3-1, and Arsenal had 2 glaring opportunities before the goal. Oh, that's a very strange touch there by Henderson. Gets away with that and clears that. We head towards the final 5 minutes of the first half. There's been plenty of action, plenty of incidents. Oh, it's a loose giveaway there by Martinelli. Palace can reset their attack now. Here's Richards to Lacroix, who made that desperate goal-saving lunge, courtesy of his own mistake, and Jesus was through on goal there. Again, the ball clipped forward. Arsenal win the second and the third ball. Havertz lays it off to Timber once again. Here's Odegaard, appealing on that right-hand side. Here's Lewis Kelly, who's had a very uneventful first half, been solid when called upon. It's just what you need from your academy players. Just look confident, like you belong there. When the opportunity arises, just show what you're capable of doing. Here's Saliba. Looks forward with a long ball. Once again, those long balls just not working, but Jesus looks to make something out of absolutely nothing. Ball just rolls back. Will be a throw-in. Final 3 minutes of the first half. I just seen 4 goals, but it could have been so much more, courtesy of both teams. Arsenal very easily could have had a couple more. Same can be said about Crystal Palace. So those who are expecting a tight and cagey encounter have seen anything but. Mateta will want to take this 2-goal lead into halftime, though. Last thing he'll want is to leave the door open for Crystal Palace, as Raya goes long once again, having Martinelli to chase that down. They do make it all the way up to the pitch, though. The other end of the pitch, rather, as we have a look at the former Arsenal boy from the Hale End Academy, Eddie Nketiah, on the bench, yet to really find his goal-scoring touch. Hasn't scored in the Premier League. Did score in the midweek game against Arsenal at the Emirates. Would have been a special moment for him. Score against his former club. It was a towering header against William Saliba as well. So Saliba, Kivior, I don't remember. Was a good They need something. That's an excellent pass there by Lewis Kelly. Under pressure, falling over. Odegaard finds Martinelli. First time ball into the box. Trossard with the first time effort. A strange one though, completely misplaced effort. Tried to just catch that on the side of the boot. Instead, it's going almost towards the penalty spot rather than on goal. Here's Havertz. Finds Lewis Kelly. Trossard. Odegaard. Here's Lewis Kelly. Again, Arsenal patient, pinning Crystal Palace to their own box here. Heavy touch there by Partey, but gets away with it. Kamada, full sprint, was coming there to press him. To the final minute of the first half here. Arsenal 3-1, courtesy of Gabriel Jesus brace and Kai Havertz adding the third. Here's Saliba. Lovely footwork there from Odegaard. He might have felt that he was caught there, but referee having none of that. It's quickly taken free kick, but Palace win the ball back. Here's Lerma. Gay to Lacroix. Richards. Back to Lacroix. Gay taking his time. Don't want to launch this forward. Though Mateta and Ismaila Sarr both looking for those knockdowns as we head into added on time here in the first half. 5 minutes of added on time. Courtesy of the goals. Injury to Saka. It's been nothing short of eventful, to say the very least. Here's Palace. Thought Kamara might have come from an offside position. Instead, here's Will Hughes. Put under pressure there by Gabriel Jesus. Be full of confidence now. 5 goals in a week for him. Here's Mitchell. Goes back to Gay. Switch on his right foot. Lovely ball. You've seen that from a couple of times. Here's Klein. Finds Sarr. Allowed to turn to Hughes. Arsenal back in their defensive structure. Very little space centrally here. Forced to go wide with the wing backs. Here's Lerma. Lays it off to Mitchell. First time ball into the box. Mateta with the header. Was never really troubling goal from there. He had Saliba all over his back. Mateta just trying to get something on it to flick that towards goal. This was patient here from Palace. First time really some combination play. Difficult to get any sort of room there. The due diligence of Jean-Philippe Mateta against Gabriel. Again, I need to get the statistics of how many times David Raya has decided to go long here. Curious tactic, but he will go and hit that on the left-hand side where Havertz is there. Lerma wins the header against the German, who goes chest to chest against the Colombian. Just a bit of needless afters. Keeps things spicy in midfield. Here's Jesus. Saliba. Could have been, what a different game this could have been, hasn't it, if Saliba's mistake was capitalized by Jean-Philippe Mateta. Instead, Arsenal have the 2-goal cushion. Here's Timber. Nice reverse on his left foot, but can't reach Odegaard. Palace on the move here. Brilliant play there by Martinelli, showing his defensive work rate, hounding the ball back, but Palace do the exact same thing. This is brilliant football by both teams, but Arsenal pinch the loose ball. Havertz lays it off to Trossard. He's got plenty of support. The pass is to Odegaard. Reverses to Gabriel Martinelli. Good save. And on the follow, well defended. Odegaard tries to blast that. Blocked it very well. What a passage of play that was. Really good bite in both midfields. Arsenal coming away with the ball. Havertz leading the break there. Finding Trossard. Trossard on his left foot. Finding Odegaard to Gabriel Martinelli. It's just a lack of conviction of whether or not he decided to pass or hit that. said it was a tame effort. Let's have a look here. It was just eased out the way there from Tyreek Mitchell. No foul given. And 90 seconds off this first half. Pump forward. Well defended there by Saliba. Oh, that's a loose giveaway. Havertz has pinched the ball. Just gliding forward. Brilliant defending there by Lacroix. And Jesus has fouled French defender. Maxence Lacroix has had some good moments. They will be disappointed though, as look at the players. Oh, is that Michael Elise? Yes, it is. Former Crystal Palace player. Securing his big summer move to big bad Bayern Munich. 60 million pounds. Crystal Palace getting more than the return. It's a long ball. Sarr with the touch. It's good. Beats the offside trap very well. Lays it off. Klein with the ball into the box. It's a late chance here. And Lerma, who came flying into the box, doesn't have the direction to beat David Raya from there. But it is encouraging here from Crystal Palace. Couple of moments before the halftime break. Just looking to threaten here. Lerma with the run and leap. The header was downwards, trying to just get the balls to bounce as Raya just boots that forward. What an eventful first half this has been, as the referee blows the halftime whistle. Brilliant entertainment here at the Selhurst Park. It's that man on your screen. Gabriel Jesus has grabbed all the headlines so far. A hat-trick in midweek against Crystal Palace. Now he's got a brace. He opened the scoring with a low drive early on, but Crystal Palace hit back immediately, courtesy of Ismail Sarr. But it was Gabriel Jesus in the 14th minute to make it 2-1. What a first 15 minutes that was. 3 goals already. There were plenty of opportunities for either team to add to their tally, but it was Kai Havertz just before 5 minutes off the halftime whistle, adding a tap-in from close range after Jesus' header came off the post. It's been all Gabriel Jesus in this first half so far. It's halftime whistle at Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 3. I'll just try and note down all the eventful actions that had happened in the first half. More than a fair few. Goal came so early. There was so many incidents. We'll just have a look at the stats here. Arsenal, 58% of the ball, 7 shots. Palace having 9 in that first half. Both teams with 3 shots on target each. Both teams missing 1 clear-cut opportunity though each. 5 fouls committed by Palace players, 6 by Arsenal. See the XG, everything very close here. Arsenal just nicking it with the finer details. It's been a really good game though. Arsenal have 2 yellow cards. I know that Timber has picked up 1 yellow card, and of course there is a sour moment for Arsenal, losing Bukayo Saka in the 24th minute. It was before that, but was withdrawn at that time. Difficult moment to see Arsenal's leading man come off, but Arsenal not struggling to find the goals since then. 2 goals from open play and 1 from a corner. This evening we saw Aston Villa, the 2-1 victory against Manchester City. Thought Villa were outstanding in that game. From back to front, it was a late consolation by Phil Foden, so it just takes the gloss off the scoreline. But I thought Villa were just tremendous from back to front. Pau Torres and Ezri Konsa, the 2 centre-backs, were absolutely brilliant. They kept a leash on Haaland. Haaland, I don't think, had a shot in anger in the whole game in midfield. I like that strategy of Unai Emery looking to pack the midfield. He went with the midfield 3 of Onana, Kamara and Yuri Tielemans. I the Tielemans on the ball, exquisite. He was the guy who got the assist, the pre-assist rather, for the goal. Just cut City open with that through pass. Gave it to Morgan Rogers, who just slid it across to John Duran to make it 1-0. Of course, it was Duran who got the start ahead of Ollie Watkins. Again, in midfield, they were giving no space whatsoever to the likes of Foden, Gundogan. Bernardo Silva on that right-hand side looked isolated. On the left, Grealish was up against Matty Cash, got very little joy. The way they continued the game was really good. But going forward, I think he sacrificed space by not having Leon Bailey on the wide areas. He had John McGinn and Morgan Rogers to give support to John Duran, and I thought Morgan Rogers was just brilliant. Like, just no amount of praise would be enough for that Morgan Rogers performance. I saw him for the first time, in a 90-minute game against Arsenal early on this season. Yes, Villa lost that game. They lost 2-0 maybe, where Arsenal pretty much had a smash and grab result there. And I thought Morgan Rogers was just brilliant in that game. He's got the close control. He can carry the ball, really powerful, has an eye for goal, and the pass. Really is a complete player that Villa have done so well to invest in him early. Picked him up from Middlesbrough for very nominal fees, considering the market and what players go for these days. John Duran leading the line. He played for 80 minutes. He really has given Unai Emery a selection dilemma now. Both strikers, they were pretty much head-to-head, 7 goals each in the league for both of them. Brilliant. And I thought Morgan Rogers, star performer for Villa. Brilliant stuff there. And it is 1 win in 12 for Manchester City. Really has been a nightmare for them. Somebody wake Pep up from this nightmare. Just can't seem to find any sort of rhythm. And every time they face some sort of adversity, the chips just fall down. It's a domino effect. Saw that against Manchester United. They had the game in the bag. Last 3 or 4 minutes, they just implode. And again, but I thought they were decent against Manchester United, but I thought Aston Villa completely dominated that game. They gave City all sorts of problems. I don't think Emi Martinez had any massive saves to make. I think he had 2 efforts of Phil Foden, which were pretty much comfortable and straight at him, rather. But for Manchester City, something's got to give here. It's 9 defeats in that 12-game period for City, where they've had just 1 win, and that win was against Nottingham Forest, was it? 3-0 victory. And that 3-0 really flattered Man City, I felt, because there are a few occasions where Nottingham Forest could have very easily scored, and the game would have been very different. Maybe that 1-0 or 0-0. I thought Forest had a couple of opportunities, and it could have been a very different game. After that, it was Forest to continue the great work. 2 goals from the Cobham graduate. Ola Aina opened the scoring, and then the United graduate, Anthony Langa, making it 2-0. And Nuno continues his climb up the table. I mean, sometimes you see teams that don't belong anywhere near the top, and then you say maybe, it's a fall off, but this is 17 games into the season. Forest are 4th. That is not a fluke. It is not a one-off. These are 17 games. You're nearly halfway through the season. Yes, it gets difficult when December, Jan, where the games pile up and your squad really will be tested. But full credit to Nuno, the scouting department, and how they've come together as a football club. They're looking in all sorts of trouble. The spending looked very awkward, but they've now got a lot more structure there. And they look like a really good, solid outfit. Very difficult, especially when they come to your home ground. They've beaten Liverpool at Anfield. They've drawn at Stamford Bridge. They beat Manchester United at Old Trafford. So Nuno's built a side that are not afraid to go to the big grounds and pull out a result. So fair play to Nuno Espirito Santos and Nottingham Forest. What else? Newcastle with a very impressive 4-0 victory against Ipswich Town. Ipswich continue to play good football, but that just playing good football is not going to help you climb up the table. They are 18th. Just started to open up a bit of a gap with Wolves. It's a 3 point gap, but that gap can evaporate very quickly. But it's Alexander Isak with a hat trick. Brilliant stuff from the Swedish striker. His stocks keep on rising. Really is a top centre forward. Other clubs will have an eye on him. Not easy to pry him away from Newcastle, considering he is their marquee centre forward. And West Ham and Brighton playing out a 1-1 draw. Kudos Kudus equalised after Wiffer had given Brighton the lead, and Brighton, who had a excellent start to the season, just starting to peter down now. A few chances to climb up the table being squandered. That loss to Crystal Palace costly, and now 2 points dropped against West Ham. It'll be very interesting to see, and you have it as the games go on. Liverpool top of the league, Chelsea in second as it stands, Arsenal in third, 1 point behind Chelsea. So Chelsea will remain in second despite of their result against Everton tomorrow. Villa climbed to fifth. Again, they had a bit of a rocky period when Unai Emery was really struggling for victories. Now they have leapfrogged Manchester City and into fifth, and City now find themselves in unfamiliar territory. They're in sixth now, and Newcastle in seventh, just a point behind them. So there is absolutely no room to breathe. And I'm just looking at this, and if Bournemouth do manage to win the game against Manchester United, easier said than done, that victory will take Iraiola's men to sixth position. Well, not sixth, it'll take them to fifth rather, as they will usurp Aston Villa on superior goal difference. So plenty riding on that game tomorrow at Old Trafford. Brilliant from Iraola and Bournemouth. Always a team that have punched above their weight in the Premier League, has been in the Premier League for a long, long time now. Got to the league with Eddie Howe, stayed there for a long time, went down, came back up. Now under Iraola. Excellent. Very, very good coach. Tomorrow, Everton taking on Chelsea, 7:30 IST, Fulham and Southampton, Leicester, Wolves and United Bournemouth all kicking off at the same time. And at 10 p.m., we will see Tottenham Hotspur play host to the league leaders Liverpool. I think that's a game where I will have to become a Tottenham Hotspur fan. Chelsea have to get the business done though. 3 points at Goodison, easier said than done. It is a bogey ground that Chelsea have faced throughout, I think, since Jose Mourinho's time, I would say. Always a ground that Chelsea have struggled to get 3 points. Every time Chelsea do get 3 points at the Goodison, it shows you that he might just have a special season. Maybe our last victory there was under Tuchel, 1-0. Yep, we played against Frank Lampard's Everton at that time. Jorginho penalty. I still remember that game. It's a dry and drab affair. Yeah, tomorrow business as usual for Chelsea, hopefully. Everton did very well to restrict Arsenal to not score 0-0 at the Emirates. Outstanding result for Sean Dyche's men. And they look to try and get another scalp. The high-flying Chelsea. That'll be a really good watch. Maresca's Blues have been very, very entertaining throughout the season. Just going to be noting the timestamps, all the incidents, so that I can just neatly mark out the timestamps for the goal reactions and all the incidents that had happened here. What do you think is going to happen in the second half? Crystal Palace will need to respond as quickly as possible. The longer it stays at 3-1, I think Arsenal will just look to add that fourth and just ease their way into all 3 points. Just looking at all the incidents, my goodness me, so much happened in the first half. Just the goals and all the incidents, as the sets of players are looking like they're going to be ready and raring to go. Havertz and Jesus both have been much maligned in the last few weeks for their lack of goals. Now them creating 3 goals in the first half, and now it'll be up to them to try and continue that good work. Can Palace just make it a bit more difficult, a bit more interesting in the second half? They'll need a goal. Easier said than done against an excellent Arsenal side, as we're off and running for the second half. Palace kicking things off from right to left. Henderson straight away goes long. Tries to give it to Richards, who goes all the way back. You'll see the spring in Gabriel Jesus' step for sure as the game goes on. He'll want that hat-trick. He was denied by a few inches as that ball kept crashing off the post, and it was Havertz on the follow-up. Again, they're trying to be as patient as possible. Crystal Palace won't panic. Oh, it's a very loose header there by Gabriel. Here's Kamara to Klein. Chips the ball into the box. Mateta's header, what a save that is! Brilliant stuff there from Raya. It was Ismaila Sarr's header from close range that was destined towards goal. And that's an early wake-up sign here, 1 minute into the second half, as the header from Mateta went straight, well, not straight, rather straight to Ismaila Sarr on the left-hand side, and Sarr just directed his header, and that was a sharp save there. Brilliant stuff, this. Onto the box, might be a cheap free kick just given away, but Raya collects. See that it all started from Gabriel's loose header back. Kamada laid it off to Klein, who picked his ball head up, and I don't think Mateta was trying to flick that on to Sarr, but that is a top quality save from David Raya. Had to be at his agile best there to thwart Sarr to get his brace. That is a chance though, big opportunity. Arsenal will just want to settle things down now. Last thing they'll want is this game to get a bit helter-skelter, a bit basketballish. From Arsenal point of view, they'll just want to grind this down, make it as boring as possible. It's not what you want to listen to, but easier said than done. This is an outstanding run though by Saliba, but his pass lets him down. Ran all the way towards the halfway line with a driving run with the ball. Just tried to set Martinelli down the touchline on the right-hand side. He was taking no chances there and just clears the ball away. Oh, lovely touch there. First from Jesus and then Odegaard, but they lose out. Here's Klein, who sees a bit of green grass ahead of him, decides to run at Trossard, and that's very strong play there by Lewis Kelly, but he loses out on that occasion. 3 minutes into the second half, and it already seems like it's just starting to bubble here. Here's Hughes. No surprise, or would be no surprises to see Eddie Nketiah introduced at some point during this match. Good header there by Jurrien Timber. Same by Martinelli. A bit of a loose header there by Odegaard, but they managed to rescue the situation. Martinelli gets the throw in. He'll want a goal as well. Martinelli has come under a lot of scrutiny for his dip in form. Always is a willing runner though, and that third goal came all through his great work. It's created a yard of separation. What a back heel that is from Jesus. Odegaard to Gabriel Martinelli. Brilliant defending there from Mark Gahey. Just slides across, makes sure that Martinelli's progress was halted. Pretty much a perfect evening here for Mikel Arteta, barring that injury, of course, to Bukayo Saka. Only a real sour note. Nice clever pass. Reverse is good. Here's Mateta. Oh, what a first time pass that is. Can he keep it in? He does so well there, Ismaila Sarr. He's got support in the box. Sarr with the ball into the box, and Saliba does well enough as to poke that away for a corner. Again, direct play this from Crystal Palace. What a first-time ball that was from Jean-Philippe Mateta. And he just charged into the box, waiting for the ball to come back. And that's brilliant defending. Five minutes into the second half. Corner here for Crystal Palace. Can they give Arsenal a taste of their own medicine here, as Lewis Kelly is just clutching his throat there. Maybe have just gotten a bit of a nudge there by one of the players. Mateta has just leaned into him with his forearm there. Nothing too malicious. Obvious physical mismatch there. Lewis Kelly against Mateta. I think Lewis Kelly will fancy his chances, though. He will not back away from a fight here. Straight away up against Mateta. Got two hands around him, has to be careful. Simon Hooper has got an eye on the both players. He's headed away. Very good defensive header, and Arsenal on the break here. Gabriel Martinelli has picked the ball up. He's picked his head up. Decides to just slow the pace down. Goes back to Saliba. Here's Partey. Havertz. Back to Partey. Here's Lewis Kelly. Jesus looking to combine with Trossard. Trossard was hoping that foul was coming, but did feel a tug on him, and this time the foul will come. It's Thomas Partey on Jean-Philippe Mateta, much to the dismay of the Ghanaian. Thumbs up there from Oliver Glasner. He's seen enough from his team to show that they're more than just ambition to make this into a fight. They want to try and find the next goal as quickly as possible. Make this as nervy for the Arsenal camp. He was under pressure. He was surrounded by three Arsenal players. Arsenal looking to push up the pitch here and to do exactly that. As looking to play out from a tight angle, and Arsenal win the ball back high up the pitch. But here's Tyrick Mitchell who's pinched the ball. Here's Mateta. There's a lot of space on the right-hand side if he picks his head up. Instead, he goes for goal himself. Mateta with the shot. Ismaila on the follow-up, running straight back to Raya. Acrobatics from the Spanish keeper. And that's two headers from Ismaila Sarr, both saved by David Raya. Oh, the ball really dipped and swerved there for Raya to save. And it came straight to Sarr, who just tried to find his header into the corner. And you can see the reaction there from Glasner. He's on his haunches. And that's 2 chances for Crystal Palace to find that second goal. It hasn't been as comfortable as Mikel Arteta would have liked this game to be. They do have the cushion of the 2 goals, but Crystal Palace are making this into a right fight here. They have David Raya to thank for 2 very good saves. We've seen him on a couple of occasions where he saved penalties and he's gotten back up and made that second save with really no reflex time. This time, something similar, though he didn't have to cover too much ground considering that shot by Mateta was straight at him, but it did swerve around. Foul there by Lewis Skelly. 53 minutes on the clock. Simon Hooper just making sure that the game gets a move on here. Hughes with the touch. Take their time. Here's Lacroix. Kamara with a pretty poor touch. The ball just getting under his spell. What point does Glasner just pull the trigger here? Kamara has not really offered too much in terms of an attacking threat. He has dropped a bit more into a reserve position on that left-hand side. Him and Sarr, the 2 players, the 2 number 10s rather, giving support to Jean-Philippe Mateta. That's a nice pass to Jesus. Looks to get it back. Up against Lacroix, who's very rapid. Saliba switches the play. He was looking to find Martinelli. It's to Timber instead. Havertz to Timber. Nice pass there by Timber to Martinelli. Trying to go around the outside. Can't chop in here on his left. Good tackle there by Mark Gay. Arsenal win the ball, however. Here's Kai Havertz. Decided not to pull the trigger. Instead, looking to pick the lock here. Odegaard looking to nutmeg Hughes. Hughes having none of that. And it sets Crystal Palace on the counter-attack here. It's a very needless dive there from, not a dive really from Hughes, just got bundled over and handled the ball. Fair challenge there by Leandro Trossard, going shoulder to shoulder, bicep to bicep with Will Hughes as he looked to carry the Crystal Palace attack forward. 10 minutes of the second half played out. It's been all Crystal Palace. Credit to the home side. It's a nice bit of play there by Timber. Releases the pass to Martinelli. Just hits it against Gay. Arsenal look to ready a few subs here. Calafiori looks to be immediately introduced here. He'll slot in at left back for Lewis Skelly by the looks of it. And Declan Rice is getting a bit of a talking to here. Havertz with the header. Hughes clears. Sarr with a push and run attempt. This is excellent defending there by Lewis Skelly. Know how quick Sarr is. That would have done his confidence a world of good there. Here's Saliba. Thomas Partey. Nice reverse pass to Odegaard. Havertz picks his head up. Finds Leandro Trossard. Trossard manufacturing some room. And he's just thundered that against Will Hughes. Looks to have gone for a corner there, but Lacroix has saved that. It'll just be a throw-in. Has hit with some force there. And there you have it. The double change being readied. Declan Rice and Ricardo Calafiori being introduced here. Kai Havertz will come off. Will be Declan Rice who will slot in as that left-sided number 8. Kai Havertz having the third goal, getting a start in midfield today. You'd consider this as job done, I'd say. Adding that cushion goal. Had a few touches in midfield, kept it simple. And no surprises that Ricardo Calafiori comes in for Miles Lewis Skelly, who had a very steady, I would say, 58 minutes or so. Experience comes slotting in here for Arsenal, especially with the introduction of Declan Rice, who Arteta had admitted that has been playing with an injury. He did play just 60 minutes against Everton. Rice and Odegaard were hooked in that game in that 60th minute as Arsenal were chasing a goal, a decision that had a lot of eyebrows raised. Rice not starting Carabao Cup game or this one. Well, it's a heavy touch there by Partey, but does well enough to just flick that to Saliba. He's caught in a tight angle himself, and Raya just bails him away. 3 headers won by Arsenal in that exchange. Keep the ball in tight spaces. Good football here from Arsenal. Partey to the newly introduced Calafiori, driving, just back heels it to Trossard. Trossard finds Saliba. Odegaard, this is patient stuff, this from Arsenal. Palace have kept their shape nicely here. A lovely pass there from Saliba, who's released Trossard on the left-hand side. Slip here, hat-trick chance. What a save that is from Henderson. Declan Rice, brilliant save. And on the follow-up to make it 4-1 is Gabriel Martinelli. There's a ping ball happening in the Crystal Palace box. And it is the Brazilian who was sharp and ready for anything to bounce across. He reacts first, and Arsenal have the 4th goal, and the points pretty much secured as the clock ticks to 60 minutes. What a pass this was from Gabriel. Found Trossard, and as soon as the slip there happened from Lacroix, brilliant first save, and Rice, when he hit that, was just deflected off the path. That is clever play there from Gabriel Martinelli. Well, Jesus has had a couple of occasions to complete his hat-trick. Instead, Arsenal score, but not Jesus. And Declan Rice will be credited with that assist. His strike was going well wide, but Gabriel Martinelli very much focused, very much on the ready to tap home from close range. It's 30 minutes on the clock here. Crystal Palace have made their first substitution. It's Kamada, who has been withdrawn, and it is the ex-Arsenal player Eddie Nketiah, who has 30 minutes to try and grab a goal or two against his former club once again. Professional display here from Arsenal. Had a few nervy moments, to say the very least, but in terms of managing it well, I think Gabriel Jesus has just had a week that just might turn his Arsenal career around. I think at some point Arsenal was fans and maybe even brain trust were looking to offload Jesus as early as maybe January or in the summer. Yes, one game doesn't change your mind, but you have games such as this where it just might start turning to be that spark, maybe that momentum shift that you're just waiting to hit you. Sarr looking to make things uncomfortable for Saliba. Very interesting to see how the front three for Crystal Palace now operate. Oh, Gay takes a bit of a risk there, does so well to keep the ball and clips in a brilliant ball here. And Raya's starting position was excellent there, anticipated the danger. Oh, lovely turn there from Declan Rice away from Will Hughes. Driving into space, lays it off, was for Jesus, instead finds Martinelli. Martinelli with another aimless ball into the box, try and retrieve it himself. Strong challenge there by Gehi once again. He's had a couple of them in very quick time. Mitchell has to be careful not to concede a corner. Partey with an immaculate couple of touches. Here's Rice. Back to Saliba, and Arsenal keep it short, keep it sharp, keep it simple. Just look to get Crystal Palace to chase shadows here. Here's Declan Rice. Finds Thomas Partey. Arsenal have the opportunity to shuffle the pack here. It's been a busy run of games for all teams included, especially teams with European and Cup competition duties like Arsenal, having to play midweek pretty much every week. Odegaard with the ball forward. It's a slight challenge there by Gehi on Martinelli, who's still on the deck. Lacroix will just shepherd that play. Out of play for a goal kick. It'll be a yellow card there for Mark Gay. He has pulled it back. It was a bit of a reckless challenge there. He's just come sliding in, gets none of the ball. All of Martinelli. Clear yellow card there. It's a free kick opportunity maybe for Arsenal. That, yep, they did play advantage. He did pull it back. Good refereeing there by Simon Hooper. He spreads it to Richards. And Palace not looking to throw any caution to the wind early on. Oh, that's almost a loose giveaway there. Arsenal back in their shape. Look comfortable here. Odegaard with a nice first touch. Looking to keep things ticking, keep things moving. Here's Calafiori. And just I think this is the back four that Arteta would have wanted to see consistently throughout the season. The back five, if you include the keeper, David Raya, Urian Timber at right back, two centre halves of Gabriel and Saliba, and Calafiori as the left back, was purchased for somewhat £33 million from Bologna, following a fantastic Euro campaign. Really did impress and was very good for Bologna, fair play, but was that really commanding performance in the Euros made Arsenal just pull the trigger. Here's Gay, finds Mitchell, drifting infield. Lacroix. Gay, keeping it short, keeping it simple. Not looking to do anything extravagant. And here comes the extravagant switch from Eddie Nketiah, which was easily cleared by Calafiori. What a first touch that is from Declan Rice. Now venturing forward, lung-bursting energy and looking to switch that beautifully to Martinelli. Lays it across and Trossard hits that against Gabriel Jesus as both players converge towards the far stick. And that came all courtesy of that run from Declan Rice. And then pinging that ball with real pace was a flat delivery to Gabriel Martinelli, who just went for that cushion header towards the far stick. Right idea. Eddie Nketiah needs to take care of the ball a whole lot better here. He's playing on the left-hand side, just replacing Daichi Kamada. And I think the corner has been conceded. Yep, Saliba with no real complaints up against Nketiah on that occasion. Let's look at this final touch. Might have just come off Saliba. Nope, the last touch was actually off Nketiah. Saliba rightfully annoyed. They'll have to defend this corner here. Arsenal do concede. It will be a point of contention, that for sure. Nearly 67 minutes on the clock. Arsenal with a 3-goal cushion, leading 4-1 away from home. Did demolish West Ham recently away from home, so they've not had problems dispatching the smaller teams. As a corner is just hacked away there by Declan Rice. Mitchell might not take a chance here. Goes all the way back to Henderson. Palace just taking their time from that corner to get back into their defensive shape. Now that they do, they can start playing out the back here. Instead, Gay goes for that long switch. Calafiori with his positioning. Bit awkward there. Ball getting caught under the lights for him maybe. Now Palace looking to up the tempo here. Here's Lerma. Again, they're keeping it short. They're keeping it tidy. Lovely pass. It's good one-touch play there. Gehi will try to recover that, and the pressure from Arsenal out of possession, paying dividends there as a double sub is being readied. Looks like Jefferson Lerma's race has been run. Check Decore will be introduced into the attack, into midfield rather. Let's have a look at the second substitution. Yep, Lerma and Will Hughes have been withdrawn, and Decore and Devaney. Well, that's a player that I'm hearing for the first time. Let's immediately research about Devaney. Number 55, Justin Devaney from Northern Ireland, 21 years of age, centre midfielder by trade. Has transferred to Crystal Palace this season, played 7 games, 1 goal. His transfer has come from, let me get this straight, I've never heard this club before, Airdrieonians from Scotland. Well, I've completely might have just butchered that name, but that's where Devaney has come from to ply his trade into the Premier League. What an opportunity it is for the Northern Irishman to impress with big numbers watching. Here's the substitute, Devaney. Gives it to the skipper, Margay. Decore to Lacroix. And the swap in midfield is maybe just for legs here. Bit of energy. Decore and Devaney. Like for like substitutions. Keeping the shape here, Oliver Glasner. Even substitution of Kamada for Nketiah. Like for like, yes, Kamada is more of a midfielder. Nketiah a striker, but just playing in the same position. In that left-hand side, number 10 position. There is Nketiah. To drop deep and combine. Can he find a goal once again against his previous employers? Here's Decore. Decline. Sarr making the run into the box. It's been avoided. Richards to Lacroix. Back to Richards. Arsenal a pin back here. Trying to find the gap here. California does very well to read the play, but gives the ball back to Richards. Richards doing very well. Calafiori with the dive. He's been bundled over. There's a strong play here from Chris Richards. Might look to win the corner, and Calafiori comes flying in. It's such a needless foul to give there. I think that was a receipt there from the Italian. He might have felt a foul in the previous action. And Richards, who was caught in a cul-de-sac, was going nowhere there. And I think you can see there from Trossard's reaction as well, just telling Calafiori to calm down. It's a free kick, almost at the byline there, so a few yards ahead of the corner location. So a few yards just away from the box. Pretty much a corner here. Devaney with the ball into the box, headed away by Gabriel Jesus. Can Arsenal look to break here? Mitchell with the header has to be careful. Odegaard's header is brilliant into the path of Martinelli, who slips it through to Trossard, who's got a chance. Chops in on his right foot. Good defending there by Palace. Strength in numbers. Sarr just bullies him off the ball. Oh, what a take that is from Nketiah on his chest. Under pressure against Jurriën Timber. And he manages to secure possession. That was a lightning quick break there from Arsenal. From their own corner. Defending their own corner rather. Oh, that's a strange ball there from Lacroix. Intercepted. Here's Jesus. Clever pass there to Declan Rice. Here's Odegaard. Martinelli has been dragged wide. Clip that into the box. Jesus with the header. It's well wide. It has taken a deflection. Will be a corner. Jesus still looking for that hat-trick opportunity. Ball there by Odegaard. It's a bit wide there for Martinelli, who had to chase that, but he clipped in a nice little ball there for Jesus. Arsenal plotting their way, try and strike. Their corners strike fear into the hearts of every Premier League defence, that's for sure. They've already had success in one of the corners. You can see Nicholas Jover, set piece coach, who is taking front and centre when Arsenal have a set piece. Odegaard with the ball into the box, headed away very well there by Lacroix. Jesus wins the header with the leap. Richards clears. Just be a throw-in for Arsenal, and it is. Arsenal have managed the second half fairly well. Yes, there were few opportunities for Crystal Palace to just make that scoreline a bit nervy. Instead, it's Arsenal who added the fourth and have clear daylight at Selhurst Park. Palace skipper Mark Gay seemed to be struggling a bit, holding his right shoulder. Maybe okay to continue. Doing 2 games, 2 watch-alongs a day, not easy. I love doing it. So here's Timber. Heading into the final 15 minutes, 16 minutes really. There's stoppage time to be added on. Had a few for injuries, stoppages, substitutions. Here's Odegaard. Partey. Declan Rice winning that duel with real forceful play here, the English international. Lays it off to Jesus, driving into the box. Ball into the box has been deflected straight into the path of Dean Anderson. Jesus might just look to pull the trigger when the opportunity does present itself. It's got 15 minutes and change to get hat-trick in back-to-back games in the span of 3 days. 5 goals in 3 days is nothing to knock out, though. Finding his goal-scoring touch, maybe for Arsenal at the very right time, is Nketiah to Doucouré. Odegaard chasing him down. Doucouré using his strength, just keeping the ball just about, really. Here's Gay. Clips the ball into the box. Good header away by Gabriel. Timber, brilliant defending there. Real composure. Saliba does the same thing. Hammers that to Martinelli. Looks to get that 1-2, but Palace win the ball back. Here's Gay. Here's Ismaila Sarr, who had 2 headed opportunities. And the score was at 3-1. Both were very well saved. Sarr with the effort. Well blocked by Calafiori. Oliver Glasner still very animated on the touchline. And a fantastic win against Hertzler of Brighton at the Amex Stadium as well. So coming off of good results in the Premier League. 2 wins and 3 draws. As for Arsenal, 3 wins and 2 draws in their last 5. Those 2 draws were back-to-back against Fulham and Everton. Here's Sarr. To Nathaniel Klein. They have messed Munoz, haven't they? He is that constant outlet. Which switched out to the left-hand side. Here's Mitchell. To Gay, who likes to float things with his right foot. Nice touch there. The first time by Nketiah. A bit extravagant though. I think his feet moved a bit slower than what he had in his mind. Wanted that quick first-time touch around the corner. Instead, Palace are patient here with Check Doucouré. Oh, that's a brilliant touch there by Declan Rice. Odegaard with a lovely bit of skill there. Brings the ball under his spell. Just lets Arsenal now relax with the ball now. Here's Thomas Partey. Calafiori converting into midfield, now driving with the ball. Can get it back here. He does. Calafiori adding real dynamism on that Arsenal left-hand side, really. Here's Klein. His progress has been halted. Here's Devaney. Ismail Sarr. That's good work there by Jesus. He is tracked back on more than one occasion in this match. Really showing that appetite as the centre forward. Kai Havertz is the number one centre forward for Arsenal and Arteta. Jesus, obviously with injury and form falling down the pecking order. Games like this, he does play back-to-back minutes, gets his fitness back. Might just find himself once again the number 1, number 9 for Arsenal. Here's Partey, who's had a very good game at the base of midfield. Calafiori has been caught very late there, immediately signaling that he is hurt. Yellow card immediately handed out there to Nathaniel Klein. He was on the stretch there. Now, whether or not his touch has caught the ankle, let's have a look here, and that's exactly what's happened. That is a painful one there for Ricardo Calafiori. Just going to take the touch away from Klein, who just leaves a stud out there. That is a bit of a nasty one there for Ricardo Calafiori to deal with. And not something that Arsenal will want to see. Already have lost Bukayo Saka to injury. It is an impact injury, and I don't think his ankle twisted or really moved there. It's more of an impact rather than something moving, so might be okay to continue, but he is writhing around in pain. Last thing Calafiori himself will want is more time on the treatment table. Hasn't got that consistent run of games since moving from Bologna to Arsenal. Nathaniel Klein picking up that yellow card for a bit of a rash challenge there. There's a substitution being made with 80 minutes on the clock. Just have a look as to confirmation of that substitute. It looks like Porha, midfielder Caleb Porha, has been introduced as Nathaniel Klein and Jean-Philippe Mateta make their way here. Jeffrey Schlupp and Caleb Porha, 2 players replacing Mateta and Klein there. Oliver Glasner shuffling his pack for what might be the final time as Ricardo Calafiori back on his feet. Good header down there by Richards. Final 10 minutes plus stoppage time. I don't think too much time will be added on. Yes, substitutions were made, but the game has flowed generally. Maybe 5 minutes of stoppage time might occur, but it all depends on how these next 10 minutes pan out here. Declan Rice has made a real impact as that left-hand side number 8. To win the ball back high up the pitch, get Palace no real time to settle in here. Lacroix takes no chances there and just clears the ball away. Gabriel Jesus still with that subplot of trying to find his hat-trick moment. Found that midweek against Crystal Palace with 3 real poachers-like finish, well, strikers-like finish, and he carried on the same this game. To get out of a tight corner here, Palace decide to just clear that away. Saliba with the header forward. Schlupp trying to get some sort of composure on the ball. Instead, it's Arsenal once again who regain possession. Here's Saliba. Saliba takes his time. That's a good block there. Forceful bit of play, and I think Jurien Timber has had an excellent game at right back. He is a solid, steady player with real technical quality. He is someone that Arsenal and Arteta will hope for his health and fitness. He's sure to have a excellent Arsenal career if he is to keep fit away from those injuries. Here's Trossard, one-on-one against Lacroix. Lacroix has the pace. Trossard has the trickery. Or just joins in to try and make a nuisance of himself. Into the final 7 minutes plus stoppage time. Here's Declan Rice. Clips the ball in. Almost reaches the edge of the box here. Timber deciding against pulling the trigger. Martinelli does the same. Odegaard had a chance. That's Trossard really who got into the box. It's confusing when both blonde players coming in at real pace. Odegaard with a clip ball towards the fast take. Declan Rice trying to get his head to it. Palace have dealt with the danger. Here's Jesus. Calafiori. Declan Rice from distance. Oh, what a goal that is! It is Declan Rice to make it 5-1 to Arsenal. It is a top quality goal, and he signals it's all over. The night celebration from Declan Rice, who's had a positive impact since coming on, has put the final nail in the coffin here as Arsenal take all 3 points back to North London, and it is a demolition job against Crystal Palace. Jesus did really well to keep the ball into the corner. Calafiori fizzed that into the box, and Rice just opens his body up and just curls that into the corner, reminiscent of Ismail Assar's goal to make it 1-1 to Crystal Palace. And that seems like such a long time ago. Since then, so much has happened. Rice using Lacroix as the shield, and Dean Henderson with a despairing dive, full stretch, gets the faintest of touches, but it's right in the corner. And Arsenal have 5, and with 5 minutes to go plus stoppage time, have all 3 points in the bag. Happy trip back to North London for the supporters of Arsenal as Mikel Arteta makes 2 more substitutions. Jurrien Timber and Gabriel Jesus being withdrawn for Mikel Merino and Ethan Nwaneri. Job done there for Gabriel Jesus. He'll be a bit disappointed that he didn't get the hat-trick. Had a couple of chances. Every time those 2 big chances did arrive and Jesus missed, Arsenal did score. So chance created did lead to the goal, but maybe didn't fall to the right goal scorer from Jesus' point of view. This is a victory that Arsenal and Arteta desperately needed. Those 2 back-to-back draws against Fulham, yes, away from home, it's always a difficult task, and Fulham have been punching above their weight this season. That draw against Everton would have really hurt them, so getting back into winning form would have been the first order of business for Arsenal and Arteta. Here's Thomas Partey, who's now slotted in as right back with the departure of Jurrien Timber. Here's Gabriel Magalhaes. Saliba. He had a nervy moment at 2-1, didn't he? How different the game would have looked if Jean-Philippe Mateta could have slot past David Raya. Scoreline looks comfortable, 5-1 to Arsenal, but the game did play out in a different manner, to say the very least. But in the second half, I think Arsenal have totally rescued control. Ismail Sarr had 2 chances with those headers, couldn't capitalize Raya showing great reflexes on both occasions there. Arsenal now find themselves in a very commanding position here and will end game week 17 for them in third position. A goal difference now. This is very interesting to see as it stands. As Liverpool and Chelsea have to play tomorrow, but Liverpool, Chelsea and Arsenal all on plus 18 goal difference now. Arsenal really doing that goal difference a world of good with this thumping victory. Oh, that's a clever pass there by Ranieri. Martinelli shows great strength there. That is a very clever ball there by Ethan Ranieri. Outside of his boot, the weight on it was perfect. It's needed Martinelli to get there, and it all came from this special first touch there. Almost gets away from him, but as soon as that, he just picks his head up, just rolls that into a very dangerous area as we head towards the final 90 seconds of normal time. I don't think too much time will be added on for stoppages. Game all but wrapped up here for Arsenal. Super Sunday tomorrow starts off with Everton versus Chelsea at Goodison Park, Fulham taking out Southampton, Leicester taking on Wolves. That'll be such a crucial game for the teams at the bottom. And Manchester United taking on Bournemouth all at the same time. Then at night, to complete the Super Sunday, it will be Tottenham taking on Liverpool in the marquee fixture of game week 17 of the Premier League. Nice pass there, but Ranieri loses out as we head towards the final 30 seconds of normal time. Here's Sarr. Can Crystal Palace find a bit of a consolation prize? Substitutes trying to combine here. Strike from distance would have just squirted harmlessly into the hands of David Raya. Professional job here from Arsenal, taking the lead and always had Crystal Palace at arm's length with the scoreline rather than the performance. Palace hitting back early after conceding as 5 minutes of stoppage time has been signaled by the fourth official, as Arsenal will look to just ride this out, maybe even just add one more goal to really boost that goal difference up. +4 from this game sees them with the same goal difference as Chelsea and Liverpool. Here's Thomas Partey. Martinelli has gotten on the score sheet. All forwards for Arsenal getting on the score sheet. That's a good ball into the box. Martinelli on the right-hand side has looked very good. He doesn't really have to chop in on that left. So he can just put the ball into the box, into a dangerous area. They don't have Kai Havertz to aim at into the box, but Kel Moreno did make that late run in. Maybe with Saka's injury, we don't know the timeline of it, but this opens the door as an opportunity for Martinelli, who has been struggling on that left-hand side. Now play on that right. Did give him some much-needed encouragement going into the busy Christmas period. Reverse passes well cut out by Lacroix. And Declan Rice, who's been a magnet to the ball since coming on. It's been an excellent substitution from Mikel Arteta, not just to solidify the game, but also to add the fifth and the gloss on the scoreline. Here's Saliba. Rice. Back to Saliba. Arsenal just happy to knock the ball between the two centre-halves within themselves. Odegaard is to be completing yet another 90 minutes in the tank for him. He's come back from injury and Arsenal seem to be benefiting much. A bit of a procession here into the final 3 minutes. Lovely touch there. Just to sneak that forward. Here's the Northern Irishman. Lacroix. And Arsenal just keeping the shape. They'll be very annoyed with themselves. They are to concede a goal now. Yes, it will be just consolation in nature, but Arsenal do pride themselves on good defending, good defense. Oh, that's a heavy touch, and Arsenal might be able to break there, but once again looking to sweep up. Slope to Gay. Clips the ball into an interesting area there, but it's straight into the hands of David Raya. Final 2 minutes of stoppage time now. Oliver Glasner can look at this as a learning experience for him and Crystal Palace. Just breaks that 5-game streak where they were without defeat. When the defeat does come, it comes in emphatic manner. So for Oliver Glasner, it's back to the drawing board. He will have Pedro Munoz back in, and he'll want Adam Wharton to come back as quickly as possible. Wharton is scheduled to come back maybe early January with his injury. Whether or not Steve Parish and Crystal Palace do decide they might make a few changes or a few acquisitions in January, we'll wait and see. Here's Decore. Looks for the give and go, but pass is easily intercepted. So we head towards the final minute of stoppage time here. Here's Richards. Come in for Chalobah, who is featured heavily under Glasner on that right-hand side in the back three. Switch here from Gayu on his right foot. Headed away. Heavy touch there. Moreno winning the ball, and he wins the throw in there. And it should be all but wrapped up here for Arsenal. Commanding 5-1 win here. Yes, they've not really made ground in terms of position, but 3 points always welcome. Mateta is having a look here. He has coached the victory, just now waiting for the full-time whistle here. Here's Odegaard. And the referee blows the full-time whistle. It ends 5-1 in favor of Arsenal at Selhurst Park. A commanding victory by Mikel Arteta and his men away from home, and stemming those 2 back-to-back draws to now open up a big, big victory. That man on your screen, Gabriel Jesus, making all the difference. Him getting a brace, started off the scoring. Palace pegged them back courtesy of a goal from Ismail Sarr, and from there it's been all Arsenal at the scoreboard. Jesus adding the brace. It was 2-1 with under 15 minutes on the clock. Havertz added the third, and in the second half Martinelli added the fourth, and Declan Rice came off the bench and curled in an absolute beauty to seal the points. It's full time here at Selhurst Park. It's Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 5.